Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm TKA Brew. We're going to be jumping into a beginner's guide with Brock and everything that's great about him, so stay tuned. Brock is an above average brawler with a wide variety of uses. You get him at 1,000 trophies on the trophy road, and it can be used in pretty much any game mode with great effect. Going over Brock's stats, at level 1 he does 1100 damage per rocket up to 1540 damage at levels 9 and 10. It is an explosive round, so that means if there's two brawlers standing pretty close together, you can hit both of them at once. And it has a 2.1 second reload speed, which actually makes him pretty slow on getting his rockets back. His health at level 1 starts at 2800 and goes up to 3920 at levels 9 and 10, which makes him slightly above average-ish for his health, so you don't want to go too close when you're fighting those tanks. Brock's super rocket range shoots out 9 rockets in a volley that can destroy walls and do a fair amount of damage in basically an X pattern, and is very predictable to shoot his rockets now since the update. Starting at level 1, each rocket does 1040 damage all the way up to 1458 at levels 9 and 10. He's also an explosive multi-hit, and the ability to knock down walls and destroy stuff on the map is a great thing to use Brock's super for. Brock's gadget allows him to jump over obstacles and jump away from people and knocking anything around him back. It does 500 damage, and it can also hit more than one person around him if they are close together. Brock has 2-star powers: Incinerary, which does 600 damage for 2 seconds with a fire circle that lands right under where his rocket hits. And rocket number 4, he actually gets to shoot 4 rockets now instead of the 3. So each of those star powers are good for different situations and different game modes. Speaking of the game modes, we're going to go over each one of the game modes, explaining what he is good for in each of them. Starting with Gem Grab, he is a support character, most likely guarding the gem carrier or doing a whole bunch of snipe shots on anyone who's straggling or is low health. He's very good at destroying walls, so that means if the other enemy team has throwers or walls that they are hiding behind, Brock can take them out, making it a lot easier for you to shoot the other side. Just make sure Brock doesn't destroy your walls for hiding. In Brawl Ball, he is great at destroying walls. As like we said, he should be targeting his super at the enemy goal, clearing it out in the front, so it makes it easier to get super shots and walking straight into the net. For Heist, he's very good at clearing walls, but he can also take long shots from far away to hit the safe, which means he can be closer to the middle of the map, guarding and attacking the safes. In Bounty, this is where he is king. The ability to knock down walls and take long shots at people is where he reigns supreme. In Showdown and Duo Showdown, he is very good at picking people off, knocking out walls as it comes again and again, and he's very good at getting a lot of damage in a quick, short succession if it's a close quarter fight with a weaker brawler, or he can try to pick off tanks from a distance. In Siege, he's probably not going to be brought into Siege too often because the safe is just far enough out of reach that you could probably only hit it with the Incinerary and the Explosion, just barely. But he's not going to be able to do too much in the center. He has lower health, like he's in the middle range for health. He doesn't really belong in Siege, in my opinion. The very new game mode, Hot Zone, he could do probably pretty good inside of this, just like most of the maps are the same maps that are used for other game modes. But he's probably not going to be standing on the Hot Zone himself. He's probably playing a support role with his rockets raining down on top of the center circle. Big game, boss fight, and Robo Rumble, please don't bring him into those game modes. He can't do enough damage, or he can't really do too well in those game modes. If you're just looking for some fun and you're just wanting to waste your time in there, bring Brock in. He could be a lot of fun in there, but he's not going to be one of those brawlers you bring in if you're going to try to get the best times or clear it the quickest and really do anything above average inside those games. Lastly, let's give you some tips with Brock to make your gameplay even better. Number 1, you're going to want to be able to predict movements and lead the runner. What that really means is when you're watching a brawler run across the map, You're going to predict if they're going to try to predict if they're going to stop, if they're going to keep going, and place the rocket where they're going and not where they are. So if they're running, you want to sit the rocket in front of them, so they basically run into the rocket. Tip number 2, he is great at breaking down walls. As you've heard in every single one of the game modes, his job is breaking walls and using his super to do a lot of damage. So if you're going to break a wall, make sure you can also do some damage to a brawler at the same time. Brock, being one of the longest range brawlers in the game, means he can pick off some of those medium range brawlers and definitely destroy some of the close range brawlers. So make sure you're using Brock as a mid to long range brawler, because he's not going to do so close when he gets the tanks. Number 4, Incinerary is probably the go-to one that I go to for his star powers, because he can use Incinerary to make a wall, block off sections, or stop in advance. Especially in game modes that the walls haven't been broken down, and you know that someone's going to run around a corner, you can actually shoot your rocket, and for 2 seconds there's going to be fire there. So either they're going to run through it and take the fire damage, or you're going to stop them from going around, kind of like the way Barley does. And lastly, he has an incredibly slow reload, so you're going to want to make sure you make your shots count and not to use them too quickly, because you never know when you're going to use them and when someone's going to pop around the corner and you're going to have to take them out quickly. But make sure you stay back far enough that you can actually reload in time for using those against everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. If you guys want more beginner guides for other brawlers, let me know in the comments down below which brawler you want to see next. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.